Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Bronson. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, tier list, ranking, review, re-review, thought streams, commentaries, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and for those who send them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And this is for the Nutty Professor II, the Klumps, from 2000. Now, while I'm not a big fan of the first Nutty Professor, which I know is not a popular opinion, but like I said in that review, when I look at Eddie Murphy, I know it's pigeonholing him, but I'm more into him using his wit and his rapid fire delivery of dialogue, smart ass remarks, in films like 48 Hours and The Golden Child and Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, and even another 40 Hours. I even like Beverly Hills Cop 4. Metro, I think, is perhaps his most underrated one. When he's doing more special effects or fat jokes or fart jokes, that's just not the Eddie Murphy I'm into. I mean, I don't mind Coming to America, the first one, but like I said, the first Nutty Professor at least had a bit more heart to it, had a little bit more focus on the story. And again, I'm not a big fan of it. I feel it's a bit overrated. That's just my opinion. This I think is way worse. Norbit I think is even way worse than this, but I've never been a fan of this one. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the first one, but this one I always hated. I always thought it was one of Eddie Murphy's worst. Again, I know that people disagree with me on that, and that's fine. We can disagree on stuff. It's not the end of the world. But this one came out in 2000, and it did not make as much money as the first. Because it had like a bigger opening weekend. While it seemed like the first one had more legs, this one had like a 40-some million dollar opening weekend, but then it only made like 100 and some million in the US. So it felt like almost half of the money was made opening weekend, but I don't know if it's word of mouth or which maybe they saw the shit and go. And I don't think you needed a sequel. This Nutty Professor, I think whether you like or hate the film, more people like it. Me, that's I don't think anyone was asking for a sequel to the Nutty Professor. I don't think anyone said I need a sequel to that movie. Because the story ended. Buddy Love was gone. Sherman accepted himself. He accepted this is who he is. This is who he's always going to be. He has the woman of his life. Seems like things are going well for his job. It's fine. So, because that film was a huge hit, we gotta make a sequel. Now, Jada Pinkett does not come back because she was pregnant, married Will Smith, and has some demon kids, and also we're going to do Matrix 2 and 3, and then Enter the Matrix video game, which I haven't played, but it's on that modded system. I'll have to play that one day just to check it out finally. But instead of Jada Pinkett, you got Janet Jackson. Now, Janet Jackson seems like a sweet lady. I would not call her a great actress, though. I have to be fair. I do think Jada Pinkett is a better actress. Although Janet Jackson she seems like a better person. So I guess you take what you can. But it's a bit weird that it's Jada Pinkett's the only one for him, but then now she's gone, and then this person comes out of nowhere within the 4 years, and it's like, who is this person? And okay, she worked with DNA, but it's like, how did you two meet, and how did you two fall in love? And it feels like some pertinent information that we're missing. Because the very first scene is, you find out it's a dream sequence where it's the two of them getting married, and the audience is like, who the hell is this? Who the fuck is Janet Jackson playing? Because at first you would think, oh, she's playing the Jada Pinkett role, but no, she's playing a different character. And during that nightmare scene, Buddy Love tries to get out of his ass and tries to get out of his cock. And he found it's a nightmare he's been having, and he's actually a psychiatrist. And it's Earl Bowen, who is the psych guy in The Terminator and Terminator 2. So it's interesting that. I mean, I guess in that maybe call him more of well, just more of a psychiatrist guy, yeah. Interesting he's playing a different psychiatrist. That'd be funny if he was playing the same character. And this is in the same universe as The Terminator. But he still has his job at the school. Larry Miller from the first film is still his boss. Still a dick. And although he's less of a dick to him in this compared with the first one. At least to an extent. Now Sherman is dealing with this de-aging formula. Uses on this dog. Where the dog is able to regress to a puppy for a little bit. They just need to work out the kinks to make it longer. And it then goes to a lot of different stories. It goes to this whole de-aging story. You have all the bit with the Klumps, hence part of the title, where they're featured a lot more into it. I don't think that was the right idea. I'm sure the sentiment was, wow, they were talked about a lot in the first one, so you have a lot more screen time. But to me, less is more. And it's because when those moments popped up, a lot of people got kicked out of them. I think the more you show these characters, the less interesting they are. Case in point, I don't care about the dad having the dick problem and the noodle dick. Oh, his dick's a noodle. I don't care about that. I don't need to hear that shit. And then he can't get it up, and people keep telling other people about it, and he can't get up some more, so he's getting more pissed. Which I can't blame him, because, like, and the mom's like, oh, I only told her because she knows this and that. I'm like, no, you shouldn't tell anybody. What if I told you that your tits are saggy? Or your pussy's rotten? Or your pussy smells like dead fish? Would you like that shit? I bet you wouldn't like that shit. So shut your shit up. I'm going to put my finger up your ass and pull the shit out and put it in your mouth. So at least your breath has a reason to smell like shit. Shut the fuck up. So, I mean, I don't care about the family. I didn't care about them in the first one. The granny, maybe a little bit, but I didn't care about the family in the first movie. So having more of them is a detriment to me, because I don't give a shit about the mom and the dad and the brother. The granny, I cared about her less in this. Pretty much her own thing. She's got this other guy who seems fucking senile and seems like out of it. So it seems like she's using the poor fool. Like, and it felt like they try to push even more of the gross out humor. They try to push more of the raunchy humor. So whether it be more fart jokes, like they're at this buffet and the dad is choking, so they gotta perform the Heimlich maneuver, and he farts and there's a fire and it hits the drapes of the buffet. Or there's another nightmare scene like the first film, where in that one he was as fat as Godzilla. In this one, I guess trying to mimic Armageddon and Deep Impact, since those were 1998 and this was 2000. But also Star Wars, since The Phantom Menace just came out in 99. Like, what is this? Try to be Scary Movie? Well, actually, Scary Movie came out the same year, so can't even say that. Although Scary Movie, I think that's a movie that's raunchy, but I thought it was funnier than this movie. And even Scary Movie 2 I thought was funnier than this. But anyway. But it's his dad being a Force ghost and using the Star Wars music and him Shermaning the fart through the spacesuit to get up to the control. But just like I said, the story is you have this de-aging formula, and you have the stuff with the Klumps, and the dad having a noodle dick. But also Sherman being with Janet Jackson and being, wanting, pretty much redoing the same as the first movie. A pretty girl he likes, and she thinks he won't. She will like him for who he is. I'm like, didn't we do this in the first movie? Isn't this what he fucking learned in the first movie? That I am who I am? Granted, with this, there's a bit of an added bit of it. So they explain it at least a little bit with Buddy Love, as time has went on, is trying to overcome his psyche. So inadvertently, he'll say stuff that's mean. He doesn't want that to happen with Janet Jackson. He wants to protect her. So he finds a way to get the DNA out. But the doll that was used for an experiment, he's around, piece of his hair gets into that mix, and Buddy Love becomes his own entity. And now he wants to take Sherman's life, as in his business, his money, all that jazz. So you have Buddy Love at times acting like a dog because he got dog DNA, including going to the bathroom on fucking newspapers because that's hilarious, I guess. And him trying to get this de-aging formula and screw over Sherman Klump and sell it to someone else. Then you have Sherman, because of the DNA thing he took out, it affects his mind, so he's getting dumber and dumber and dumber. So then you have Sherman losing his intelligence. So you have that story going on. You have the whole Buddy Love trying to steal from him going on. You have the de-aging formula where the dad, Cletus, gets the formula, drinks it, and then Eddie Murphy plays the younger version of his dad instead of the older version of his dad. And then that whole drama where he's fighting this guy. Just like he's trying to pick up this lady. So I'm like, oh. But then this old guy tries to fight him with like kung fu. Trying to do like the Karate Kid thing. But then Cletus changes back and the older guy runs away and is scared. That's what it feels like, just going all over the fucking place with the story. It's going here, it's going here, it's going there. And none of it I gave a shit about. I didn't give a shit about the story. Sherman, I mean, he's still the kind-hearted guy. Buddy Love is still annoying. I still don't care about the family. Janet Jackson seems nice, but she's not an actress. I don't think she gives a great performance. She gives a fine, average performance. The jokes are trying to be even more raunchy. I mean, there's a whole bit where Buddy Love screws over a presentation by when Sherman gives a formula to this hamster, it becomes overgrown. Now, I do appreciate that Rick Baker comes back to do the effects. I do appreciate there are moments where it's an animatronic giant hamster. And you see him blinking his eyes and wiggling his nose, and I thought that was cool to see. That done practically. That's one of the complaints I had with the first film, is to see more of these type of scenes done practically. Now the water shots, when he's trying to move, they do it CGI, but it was nice to have some animatronics in there. But did I need to see a scene where he runs over to Larry Miller, who's got a fur coat, and then the idea is this giant hamster fucked the guy in the ass, and then the family's watching and joking about it? I'm like, okay. A giant hamster fucked this guy in the ass. If you find that funny, cool. Not for me. It's not my type of comedy. Which, I mean, hell, there are comedies I like that I don't care for. Like, Police Academy. I love the first Police Academy. But, do I laugh at the scene, but do I care about the scene where the one guy gets his head shoved up a horse's ass? No. But it's kind of funny afterward when Michael Winslow's mimicking a horse. That's kind of funny. But here, like, this is more just, like, sodomy. I don't know if I really find that fucking funny. Not really. Maybe that's just me. I just being uptight, I guess. And my thankfully tight ass. This old hamster gerbil. What the fuck is fucked it? Anyway. But yeah, I don't care about the mom and dad having their sex life improved. And again, the whole dream scene with the asteroid, whatever. And Buddy tries to sneak in to steal the formula, and the granny's there because he thinks he's a stripper. And then Granny kisses Buddy Love. Then Buddy Love leaves and pukes. Because technically it would be incest, because Buddy Love is still a former Sherman. So it's still Granny kissing his grandson, and she doesn't know it, but he knows it, and that's why he freaks out and pukes. And then the end of the film is just a chase with Buddy Love, where because Buddy has a little bit of the dog DNA, Sherman throws a ball, he catches it with his teeth, but some of that stuff is in it, so he regresses to a baby, then regresses into liquid, and then they chase after it. It goes to this fountain. They drink the fountain. He gets his intelligence back. Well, that was very easy of a fix. Very convenient of a fix. Again, I thought Jada and Eddie had a little bit more chemistry together compared to Eddie and Janet Jackson. I thought that the jokes. I did in the first one. I can at least point out, oh, that bit with Dave Chappelle, where he's in the club and like Buddy Love, Eddie Murphy, them firing back and forth with the jokes. I thought like that's really funny. Here, there's not really any scenes I gave a shit about. The buffet scene, the Heimlich with the fart, the idea that as Buddy Love he goes to take a shit or a piss on newspapers. Cletus complaining about his noodle dick and people talking about his noodle dick. Like there's the bit where after the Heimlich, the guy who's with the granny who seems all senile, he picks the stuff up and puts it in his mouth. Because it's trying to be even more about gross out gags, gross out humor. I mean, the first one had a bit of that, but it tried to be more so. There are comedies like American Pie, Austin Powers, that sequel, and the second one, which was I think '99. Wasn't there a scene in there where someone accidentally drinks shit? Or something like that. So it's trying to be even more in that direction. Sodomy by fucking hamster. Which at the end, there's even a bit where Larry Miller looks over and the hamster, who's this big, winks at him, and Larry Miller goes, and then rolls off like this. I'm like, what's he going to do? Fuck the hamster? Is that what I'm led to believe? Gonna put the hamster on his dick? Or up his ass? Are you Richard Gere? Well, it's not a gerbil, but it's a hamster, so maybe close enough. I don't know. But that was a legend that Richard Gere put a gerbil up his ass. I don't think it's true. I think it's funny. Some people say Sylvester Stallone made that rumor up. Just him and Richard Gere. Richard Gere was going to be in the Lords of Flatbush. But then him and Stallone got into a bit of a fight. Because I think he dropped some stuff on Stallone's shirt. And they had a bit of a fight. So Richard Gere got fired. And they didn't like each other ever since. So again, the rumor is that Stallone started the rumor with the gerbil up the... But I don't know. Maybe it was someone else that did it. I would love to believe Stallone did it. But I think someone did ask him somehow. Like in a way. And he's like, nah, I didn't start it. Nah, I didn't. Maybe he just didn't want to take credit or... I don't know. I'd be curious to know who started that. How you know it's a rumor? Well, I guess I like to think so, because the other is even more horrifying. But anyway, going off that tangent. But is that what Larry Miller's going to do? Stick the hamster up his ass? Or what? Use the formula and make the hamster big again? He's down into bestiality? Like, that's right. So this is weird shit in this movie, that, and more of the Klumps, which I wasn't a fan of in the first place. And like I said, this just isn't the type of Eddie Murphy comedy I'm into. I'm more into Metro, Showtime, 48 Hours in the sequel, Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 4. The Golden Child's my favorite. That's more my Eddie Murphy type of comedy. I mean, it's not great, but I'd rather watch I Spy over this. Bullfinger I did like. He played more than one role in that, but I thought that was pretty decent, pretty good. Which actually, that's one of the other ones Bronson will want me to re-review, which I'll get to that down the road. So yeah, if you like Nutty Professor II, that's fine. I fucking hate it. I think he's a piece of shit. I think he's dog shit. Or hamster shit. But that's just me. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.